Welcome, everyone. Thank you. Welcome, everyone, and thank you all for taking your time out to join us at our Board 42 mandatory meeting of starting our season of 21-22. So first and foremost, etiquette, we would ask everyone to please keep your phone or your device on mute so that everyone can hear exactly what's being said. We ask everyone to please type your name, inside the chat box for your attendance. We want to make sure that everybody's accounted for that's not here or that's here, so we can all be on the same page. At this particular time, I'd like to introduce our president, Michael Howard. Would you come on and say hello and take us to our special guest that we have this evening?
Okay, first of all, good evening, everybody, and thank you for taking time out of your busy daily schedule to join us. We truly hope for a healthy and active plus uninterrupted basketball season. I must start out by saying COVID-19 is still with us. A number of people have taken the liberty to be tested, and unfortunately, a number of people who have been vaccinated, have tested positive for this virus. Please take time to take care of your health, your well-being, and your family, because this is no joke. I know a number of people who have been vaccinated and later on down the road have tested positive. So as you prepare to throw that ball up in the air and run up and down the court, take care of your family, take care of yourself and your health and well-being. That's major, because this virus is very vital to the health and well-being of us all. Let me go on before we get in. I like to first of all say Board 42 have taken some steps in a positive direction. And without the help of this executive board, and I mean Bernard Bowen and Victor Fleming, we would kind of still be a step or two back. So I want to take a moment to thank them for their ongoing help. Bernard serving as the vice president, Victor as the financial secretary treasurer for the board. So both of you, I want to thank you very much. With that being said, we have three guest speakers tonight. Danny Harris from the PSAL, Kevin Pigott from the Catholic High Schools, and then Leroy Hendricks, our Assignor for Bronx Manhattan of the PSAL. I want to get this moving fast, so Danny, hopefully Danny can give us some updates on the PSAL. When Kevin jumps in, he'll give us some updates on Catholic High School, so we'll have a better picture of what high school basketball is going to be like in New York City. So without further ado, Danny Harris, thank you very much. It's on you.
Good evening, Mike. Thank you, Bernard, the entire executive board. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me at the Board 42 Zoom meeting. And I want to echo Mike's sentiment that we pray for an uninterrupted basketball season in the PSAL. It's long overdue, and we are moving in that direction on the PSAL side to have a full season, regular season, with a full postseason and a PSAL championship. So that is our goal for this year, and we are putting things in place to move that forward in that direction. Some of you may have heard, we put out a information bulletin to our coaches, kind of outlining what the current guidance on PSAL basketball looks like. And as many of you may know, that the guidance is always changing. The mandates are coming, there's things happening, and then they may change in a week. So what I can provide for you right now is what the guidance from the mayor's office regarding PSAL is concerning basketball on today, September 27th, 2021 at, what time is it? 7. So this is the most current guidance that I can provide for you today. So the mayor and the city of New York has mandated that all participants in high-risk sports in the PSAL, and high-risk sports for our concern is basketball, but I know many of you may also officiate football, you may officiate volleyball, you may officiate some other sports. So the high-risk sports are football, basketball, wrestling, volleyball, and even though bowling is not a high-risk sport and it doesn't have officials, the mandate, because it's indoors, requires all participants to be vaccinated. So for the winter season for which basketball resides, the mandate requires that prior to participating in any game, you must be fully vaccinated. So whereas in the fall season, which we are in right now, prior to participation, you had to have one shot of a 2-shot vaccine in order to participate. But going into the basketball season, the mandate requires that any participant must be fully vaccinated. So that means 2 shots if it's a 2-shot vaccine. And when they say all participants, that includes independent contractors or referees and officials, of which all of you are. So that's going to be the requirement. Now, how that is going to be logistically handled, there is a vaccination portal that the New York City Department of Education created. There hasn't been information yet as to how I'm supposed to relay that information to you as officials, but as soon as I get that information, I will get it to the boards and to our assigners. The implementation is that we believe there's going to be a guest portal or a guest sign-in in the vaccination portal. So once you have the link to the vaccination portal, you'll be able to go in as a guest and register and upload your vaccination information in order for that to be uploaded in the DOE portal and be accepted. We then believe that that information is going to be put into the system where the assigners assign officials, just like when your fingerprints possibly go in. Now, this is just speculation. This hasn't been given to me yet, but I believe that this is how it will be implemented, that that information, once it's uploaded, will then be on the back end where the assigners have the ability to see the people who are vaccinated, and only the fully vaccinated officials will be able to be assigned games for the PSAL. So I believe that that's how it's going to be implemented. When I get more information, when that comes to me, I will definitely get it to the boards and to the officials. And you should also expect that I will send out an email to the basketball officials through our PSAL email communication system with just some updates on that season. So the first day of the PSAL regular season when teams can practice is November 1st. So November 1st is the start date. And then 10 days after that, so basically November 10th, November 11th, is the first day that PSAL basketball teams are allowed to scrimmage. So have games versus other teams. So anytime after November 11th is when actual competition can begin. And those are scrimmages before the regular season starts. Somewhere around the Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving will be the first scheduled regular season game. So those are the kind of timeframes that we're looking at for this season to get everything underway. There are other few things that currently are in place. There is a no spectator policy for PSAL competition as of right now, based on the mayor's mandate for indoor activities. So no contests that are held indoors can have spectators. So that means that there should be nobody in the stands, only the school administration, the individuals responsible for any kind of security, and the participants, the players, coaches, and the officials. That's the current guidance, no spectators. So That's certainly the guidance now. It is subject to change, but if we get that information, we will pass that along. The other information that we have is that PSAL teams can only compete versus other PSAL teams at this point, and all competition must be held within the 5 boroughs. So PSAL teams cannot compete in Westchester or Long Island or anything outside of the 5 boroughs right now. That's the current guidance that's put forth by the mayor's mandate. So those are some of the things that we have on tap right now. And I know there's a lot of questions. I may not have all the answers, but I certainly can answer any questions right now with the available guidance that I have. So that's just an overview of where we're going into this season. There are definitely precautions in place. It is going to be a requirement for all officials to be vaccinated in order to participate and oversee PSAL competition for this season. So with that kind of overview, I'll turn it back to Mike and Bernard. And if you want me to answer any questions, I'm willing to do that.
Yes, if anybody has a question, can they please put it in the chat? And then we can, Mike, you can go ahead and read the question out, and then we can go from there.
Bernard, could you take care of that part? You read it out?
Yes,
Thank you.
not a problem. One of the questions is, I know we spoke a little bit about the Sullivan games. What are we doing, or is there any update on that?
Oh, thank you for that reminder. I had that in my notes but I jumped over it. I apologize. Unfortunately, right now, we are not able to proceed with the Sullivan games in the fall time slot. We may look at doing a postseason exposure event if the guidance permits, but right now we are not moving forward with our normal Sullivan games in that fall time slot.
Thank you. Another question, will we need to wear masks while officiating?
The current guidance, and I will share the link to the New York State guidance, which we are following right now. So all indoor activities, the expectation is that you do wear a mask. And I will get further guidance on that. But yes, I would say that the expectation is now that all indoor activities require mask usage.
Awesome. I don't see anything else. But what I will add is that we will put this information up for those who are not aware that Board 42 now has a website. It's board42.com. That information will be up on the website as well. There is Kevin here, Mike?
I just texted him. He told me he's getting ready to jump in, but there was another question regarding table officials. Will it be school personnel or would it be referees, Danny?
As of right now, our expectation is that the schools will provide their clock operators and school personnel. I know when we restarted in the spring, there were different opportunities for officials to work the table. So as of now, we expect that schools will provide the personnel for the table.
Awesome.
Uh-oh.
Thank you so much, Kev. Mike, you have anything else?
No, what I will, Kevin is having a problem getting in. So what we could do is go to the next, is Leroy here?
I did not see him come in. I will reach out to Leroy. What I would, if you don't mind, Mike, if you want to let Victor go ahead until Kevin.
Yes.
Okay. I got some more material if you need me to go for another 15, 20 minutes. No, I'm just messing.
We want all your information, sir.
No. Anything, any questions that I didn't cover, please Michael, Bernard, you know where you can find me, and I can give you as much up-to-date information as I have. And looking forward to hopefully, as uneventful as possible start to the season so we can get back to normal kind of conditions. But a lot of things are up in the air. As some of you may know, that there was an injunction on the mandate for city workers, and that's going to be determined in the next couple of days. So a lot of information could be forthcoming in the next couple of days as well.
One other additional question did come up. Do we need to use the electronic whistles?
We haven't given any mandate for the electronic whistles, but I think that that's a good place for us to be moving towards. So we haven't given that as a mandate, but I would recommend that if we can go in that direction, as many safety precautions to prevent, the blowing, the exhaling on others, we should move in that direction.
Awesome. Mike?
Okay, yeah, let Vic go now because Kevin is continue having a problem getting in.
Okay, we will work with him getting him in, but first and foremost, we want to say thank you, Danny, for taking the time out to spend with us, giving us some updates on what's going on. We know that you're only a phone call away, so if there's something else, please feel that I hope that you feel that we can just reach out to you as you always have offered us that opportunity to speak to you about anything that's coming up. We can always add things to our website now that if you think will enhance what we're doing, we appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Bernard. And as always, we appreciate the partnership with the boards, particularly Board 42 and the representation we have with Mike Howard, Leroy Hendricks, Bernard, and all those faces out there. It's so good to see so many of you. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to see you, to speak with you, and to continue the partnership and rely on you for the great work that you do. So thank you all. And I look forward to seeing you down the road.
Awesome. Mike,
All
you
right.
want to introduce Vic?
Okay, next up is our Secretary Treasurer, Victor Fleming, who has done a tremendous job over the past several months, working very hard, putting things in place. And Victor, I don't want to steal any of your thunder, but please let people know what's been taking place on the financial end and what you've been doing. Victor Fleming.
Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing this Monday evening? First, I'm going to say that all our financial obligations for the last fiscal year of IAABO National has been satisfied. Taxes and all liabilities have been paid. Moving forward, I put together a snapshot budget, and we look at a revenue budget of approximately $23,000, and hopefully we'll attain that goal if everybody's professional, and that's what we strive to be. We will be able to reach that goal. Our expense budget is approximately $20,000, leaving about $3,000 available for us to do other things. And that's based on just a little bit of data that I was able to obtain. Just want to let you know, I have no history in reference to what the prior years did, but I was able to look at small different indicators to be able to come up with these two types of budgets. So in January or maybe December, I will come back with another budget, more realistic, with actual expenditures to go against that. And I think we will have a better look at where we are. But again, if everybody is professional, everybody pays their dues, and I'm going to give you the way you can pay your dues. And I'm going to ask individuals starting in October to either use, and I'll tell you our PO box, and then I will put it on the website, and I will also put it in the email. Our PO box is PO Box 2619 Ponton Avenue, Ponton Avenue, Bronx, New York, 10461-9998. Again, PO Box 2619 Ponton Avenue, Ponton Avenue, Bronx, New York, 10461-9998. Also, you may Zelle the payment at v.fleming@verizon.net. That's my email address, which everybody's been receiving my emails, v.fleming@verizon.net. If you want to send your dues via Zelle, then that will be no increase from the prior years. And I'm the person that, works real hard not to have any increases. So it will be $100 as in the prior years. If anyone has any type of question, please email me whatever questions you have, and I will either email you, or if you put your telephone number in there, I will give you a call back and we can have some dialogue in reference to your question. So I thank you, Michael and Bernard, and I wish everybody a fantastic season. And one thing I'm going to ask, individuals that have not run up and down the court or done any exercises in the last year and a half, this is a good time to start limbering up those joints, do a little bit of calisthenics, a little bit of walking or running, so when we get on the court, we're physically fit. And with that, I turn it back over to Mike or Bernard.
Bernard, before you go on, can we make sure we put that information in the chat? The Zelle payment information, as well as the PO box address.
Ralph, do you have that?
Yes, it's up. It's already up.
Appreciate it, gentlemen.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Bernard.
Okay, until we can get Kevin in to try to make sure that he has access, I'm going to do an operational update on where we are. As far as the new referee class, we did start that on September 8th. It is going very, very well. We have approximately about 19, 20 new candidates that will be coming in. They're doing an in-person class on Saturdays up at the Boys and Girls Kips Bay Boys Club up in Throsneck. And the facility is awesome. We're the only ones in there, and there's plenty of space. We're also doing Zoom sessions on the midweek. We have a couple of members that can only do the Zoom because they can't make it on Saturdays. So with that being said, we are having 2 classes each week, and everybody's engaged. We have 2 instructors that are doing an awesome job, Ron Eady and Mario Christian. Been super in helping the new candidates work on the IAABO University and in-class training that's doing an awesome job. As we said earlier, the website is up and it's working. We want everybody to go look at it, give your feedback, send an email to the executive board. If you have something you want to recommend, we want your feedback on it in order to make it better. We can't do this by ourselves. We have to do this as a group. So if there's something that needs to be said or want to be thought about or something to bring up to everybody, please feel free to send the executive board an email. That's including the budget. So any questions you may have regarding that or any of the things that's going on within the operations of what we're doing. So we welcome all the emails, wanted in writing so we can be truly transparent about getting information back to whoever's asking those questions so that everybody's on the same page. We will be updating our Constitution. The Constitution has been updated and we will be posting that to the website. The refresher test will also be up on the website for you to be reviewing. The IAABO conference is coming up this weekend. It's up in Trumbull, Connecticut. If you haven't gone, it's something you should think about when you see the tutorials come over. Think about, attending, network. You meet a lot of people that you see on TV. You see people doing high school games from different boroughs, different states. At least you can learn to shake hands and say hello. And at this time, we may not be shaking hands, but at least we can say hello. But this conference will be this weekend. We are going up. A few of the executive board and a couple of other members from the board are going up. We will come back and give a report to some of the information that's going on. You want something to say, Vic?
Add something at the end, okay?
Yes, that's no problem. Also, we have, as we said, our high school season there's not going to be Sullivan games going on. We're really looking at the high school season starting November 1st. Recreational basketball is going on. It's starting to open up a little bit more and more and more. So what I'm recommending, besides going out and just getting your walk on, if you're interested in becoming a better official or working on your craft, reach out to the executive board again, send it in a writing email, possibilities of getting you some opportunities to work in some different recreational leagues around the city. So to get everybody blood flowing, blowing your whistle, getting your reps in and looking ready sharp when we get ready to go back on that court. Another thing that's coming up is October 12th. Catholic School is having tryouts. That's already up on the website. You can go and look at that, get some information. And if something of interest to you, please reach out and see whether or not it's something that you're interested in joining or going to attend. All the new officials, please don't sit back and after you just took the floor exam. We had a nice class that did a floor exam. And in that floor exam, we had some good candidates that look very good and promising to grow in this referee community. Don't hold up on your craft. If I don't personally call you, or Victor or Mike don't call you, you have to pick up the phone and call. That's part of being an official. Assignors are getting calls from a lot of folks. They're not going to be looking to just call one person, which is yourself. They're trying to call a dozen or more folks. So at your leisure, please find time if you want to work on your craft and become a better official and get opportunity to work a little bit more. You want to reach out to your assigners to find out what's going on. Other than that, like I said, it's very important for us to have true transparency about things that's going on within the board. I am recommending and have spoken to the counterparts on the executive board. We would like things in writing. So this way we can always answer you within a timely manner. So this way, if there's anything that you feel uncomfortable about, if you want to say something, send it in. It's better for us to communicate. If we want to pick up the phone and talk about it, but if we need to document it, let's document it so everybody knows exactly what's going on. From the operational side, I'm done. Go ahead, Vic.
You're muted, Vic.
Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot one important detail, and that is book distribution. I was able to give out maybe a good 40 books, 45 books this past weekend. I sent the email out to maybe 150 of our members. And so right now I'm looking to have another date, which probably will be this Sunday after I come back from Connecticut. And I'm looking to give it out at Millbank between 1 or 1:30 and 4 o'clock. And then after that, via email, I will tell you all when the next distribution will be. So please look at your emails and I will be telling you when we'll be giving out the books. And it's very, very important that everybody picks up their books. Again, I have no history of how many books we distribute. So it's very, very important that if I go by 300 books and we only give out 200, every book is $25. So now you multiply that $25 by 100 books. Now that's, $2,500 we could have saved. So please come get your books. Call me or email me, but please come get your books. It's very, very important. Again, thank you. And I don't have any more, Bernard or Mike. Anything else?
I just want to add, Bernard, before you keep going, I'd like to add that if you're a new official, and I say new official, 5 years or less, if you did not have a mentor, you need to find a mentor. So that's the one thing for the new officials. The guys who've been reffing 8 years or plus, if you would like to help the board out by being a mentor, please contact the executive board with a quick email and say you'll be willing to do mentoring. And the mentoring will be maybe watching somebody 2 games, and those 2 games could be, and we're just etching this out, those 2 games, one could be in the winter, one could be in the summer, but at least these people will be, new officials will be, because we have 1 supervisor officials for Bronx, that veteran officials will be to make some time to be a mentor, watch a new official and give some feedback, and hopefully a lot of it will be positive. Go ahead, Victor.
Robert Chin would like to be let back in. Is he in?
I don't know, but we do have Kevin is in. Kevin Pigott is in.
Bernard, could you just talk to see if he could get a Robert Chin back in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Mike, would you introduce Kevin?
As with PSAL, we have a contact person with the Catholic High School. Kevin Pigott is the president of the Catholic High School Athletic Association. And Kevin, thank you for your patience. Please share some information, what's going on with Catholic High School basketball.
Hey, good evening. I just turned the light off. There we go. Good evening, guys. This has been one of these weird nights, I'm very used to not getting invited to parties, and this is another one that I've been kept out of. Let me talk a little bit. Yes, we're going to have a season this year. I think the new expression for the 21st, for the 2020s is as of now. As of now, we're going to have a season. We're trying to get some clarity, as Danny Harris, I'm sure, was telling you from upstate. There's some things that were a little different than the PSAL, but a lot of it too is consistent. As they already said, that all referees indoor sports have to be vaccinated. So I know you guys are aware of that. We're trying to get clarity in regards to masks. They're saying everyone in an indoor sport has to wear masks. We heard from Albany that if you're not playing in a scholastic place, so I'll use ice hockey as an example. Ice hockey plays in city rinks. If you're not playing in a scholastic place, if you're vaccinated, then you don't have to wear a mask. We're trying to get clarity on that, and we don't know how that affects the referees. The best thing I can say to you guys is that when you do get your assignments and you go to schools, just email, text, call. I think the best way is to email the athletic director a day or 2 before, just to see what the requirements are. And of course, always check, and I know you guys do, the second greatest invention in the world, the arbiter. Always check the arbiter just to make sure you know what's going on. The first great invention is Easy Pass. So really, that's it in a nutshell. It's a day-by-day situation. We're trying to figure this out as we go along, and I'm not blaming people, but we're not getting a lot of clarity in terms of Albany. So what you might find, unlike the PSAL, because everything is centralized, as you guys know, with the CHSAA, if you try to do an organizational chart and see who's in charge, it goes all over the place. The schools are really determining what protocols they're going to do. We've given them guidelines, but it's a little bit more loosey-goosey. And I've talked a little bit too long. Questions? Wow, I feel like I'm doing a Zoom class last year.
Yeah, please put them into the chat. If you have a question, please. Kevin, you scared everybody.
I wish. Let me just add one thing, two things actually. Thank you for all your work. Thank you for all your patience. And you, especially now, thank you for your dedication, because we live in some real serious times. And the other thing is, please just be patient, because things are going to change. I actually think in some ways this year is going to be a lot harder for us than last year because of that lack of clarity. And so if that's it, no questions, then I'm going to skedoodle, as they say.
Kevin, thank you
Well-
so much. Truly appreciate it.
All right, guys. See you somewhere down the pike. All right. Good luck. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Kev. Vic, can you do me a favor? Would you send that over to Leroy? Leroy's trying to get in as well. That link.
Okay, good enough.
Do we have any questions from the board until we get Leroy on? He's going to try to get in.
Did you look in the chat? There's a few things in the chat.
Okay. We put in the PO box, the information. We wanted to know if we're collecting dues. Can you do your dues via Zelle? Yes, you can. Was there any pay raises for officials? That would have been a great question to get, Mike. I have not, and that'd be something that we can ask Leroy when Leroy gets on. And I'll write that down so we could find out, was there any pay raises? I did not hear any of myself. So I don't know. I think we've answered all the questions that's in the chat. If I missed someone, please send it back again, please.
Okay, Bernard, there was a question. Could someone pick up another person's book? I would say email Victor, all right, and let him know what your plans are, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're waiting. Did Leroy get in yet?
I just sent him the link.
Sorry for the inconvenience for anyone just waiting for us to get Leroy in. So please bear with us. Thank you.
And Leroy will be our last speaker. And I think I can start out by saying I noticed it was over 100 people. I truly thank you for your participation. And like Danny and Kevin both said, their information is as of tonight. Things do change. And we're talking about the Department of Education as well as the Catholic High School. There's going to be a lot of changes. Just bear with us. Any questions or concerns, you can reach out to one of the executive board members and we'll do our best to update you.
You may have to increase the amount of people that are allowed in. At 100, it'll shut you off.
Yeah, I don't know. We tried to find out why, and I'm actually on that right now because I know a couple of people just text me. So I apologize for that. We will get that corrected.
Thank you, Nato.
No, no problem. Thank you. I think Leroy's getting in now. Antonio was asking a question regarding coaches acts. Can he scrimmage now and other teams to get into tournaments? I'm not aware of any of that. I can't speak for Danny or Kevin, but if a coach is calling you and you're going into school, I think the protocol that was just given to us is what you should be guiding yourself, by as a board member. I would not, deviate from anything to be singled out later on that you did something against protocol that was put in place. It seems like they're not supposed to be in before November 1st. They should be able to start November the 11th to 12th. My recommendation is try to stay to them guidelines. And this way you don't have to hear something, or any feedback, back that may not be something you want to hear. Mike, you want to add something else?
Well, I just say, be careful, be safe, because if you're not sure about what you should be doing, check with someone on the executive board. You can always reach out to one of us. You can reach out to your supervisor officials, and they'll share the information with you. I wouldn't want to walk into a school knowing that the date is, I think, November 1st, he said, and you going in there beforehand to do a coach a favor, because that favor might bounce back on you. You're mute, Bernard.
Sorry about that. Mike, would you like to introduce Leroy? He's in.
Okay, thank you for attending. Our last speaker tonight is Leroy Hendricks. He's the assigner for PSAL Bronx, Manhattan. And, Danny touched on some things already. I'm sure some of you guys, ladies, will have questions for Leroy. Leroy Hendricks, thank you for attending. We got him in?
Yeah, I thought he was in.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Leroy, you got the floor. Thank you for attending. Danny already spoke. Kevin Pigott spoke. So now you're in. Thank you very much.
And I was listening what Bernard was saying, and if you read that memo that he sent out, and everything is a lesson in progress, so to speak, they can't start to do anything until November 1st. So you should not be going into any school. And I've been getting phone calls and emails from a lot of coaches, a lot of new coaches in the Bronx, and they emailing me, telling me they can't get on, and I'm asking why they're emailing me, and they tell me the AD is telling them to email me, but so we just trade emails. But I would just be careful, and I wouldn't even attempt to do something until you get final direction. And when I talked to Danny, I talked to him the other day, and if we have a Zoom officials meeting or some kind of meeting, which we haven't had in several years, we need to do that. But it's going to be no spectators if and when they start this, and PSAL have to play PSAL. There's no crossovers. It has to be a PSAL school. So be careful if these coaches call you and ask you to do a scrimmage or whatever. I can't tell people what to do. If they give it to me, I charge them a regular rate, and usually we go down to $100, for a scrimmage or non-league game. But I can't tell you guys, excuse me, what to do. That's on you.
One of the questions that came back, Leroy, was there any increase in your game fees?
As I know as of now, no. And remember, the only person that's doing the PSAL is Danny Harris. No one have taken Donald Douglas' place as of today. So, and the other thing with the DOE is we're getting a new mayor in November. And he'll get elected in November, and he takes office in January. And when you get a new mayor, you usually get a new chancellor. Get a new chancellor, you get a new administrator. So, 2022 could be a upheaval of a year.
One of the questions that was well, one of the statements that were made last time we had a Zoom session was we said to make phone calls and check in with your assigners. I want to make sure that we put it on record that you should be sending your availability to your assigners, not reaching out to your assigners. Leroy and I had a conversation about that. We wanted to make sure that we were corrected or staying corrected to make sure that you send your availability. So this way, when they start to distribute games, he's not looking for a phone call or looking for someone to come back to. Lee, you want to add?
What I request is, and if you go to the website and find the availability sheet, is last year's date on it. But they haven't updated it to 21, 22. But don't worry about that. Just download a sheet, send me your current information. You know, I would like the social security number. If you don't want to send it, that's your business. You know, once I finish with the sheets and whatnot, I shred them. So they're not going nowhere. And I need everybody, or a lot of people change their cell numbers, and I need a cell number and a home number. I need both, because changes are made at the last minute or whatever, and you're going to the wrong school. If I can't reach you, then we got a problem. So if I got your cell number and your home number, you know, they get to me before everybody else. So if you would mail me a US mail, don't mail it to the office because it don't always get to me. I'd like for you to mail it to my home address. My home address is 133-11 221st Street, 221 Street. I'll make it easy. Queens, New York, 11413. Again, 133-11 221st Street, Queens, New York, 11413. And it, for some reason, and I'm not singling out or saying, people do not read the form and give the information that's on the form. You're filling out a form and it's coming to me. So fill it out. I shouldn't have to call you and say, oh, you left this out. Look, and this year, I don't plan to call you. If you didn't put it in, I guess you're not interested. So please fill out the form, mail it to my home address. I have 3 already. And, you know, I carry a book with me. So when the season starts, if we have a season, you know, we'll be ready to go, and I can reach out to you. You don't have to close out any dates right now. Just once the season starts, I would like you to email me. I'll say again, I would like you to email me your closed dates. Now, I'm going to give it, but it's on the website. PSAL, ASSIN at hotmail.com. I know people haven't used the email in over a year, the website rather, PSAL website. You need to get back to it because Danny's going to put stuff up. We spoke about it on the website. So you got to get used to going to the PSAL website. Any other questions, Bernard?
Do you mind repeating your address?
It's Leroy, do you mind if we put that on the website?
You can put it on the website. I'll
Okay.
do it one more time. 133-11. 221st Street, 221. Queens, New York. 11413. If you worked JV last year or the year before, because nobody worked last year really. If you worked JV 2 years ago, a year or two, you can send me availability form. And what I will do, I will contact Hanif and we will discuss it, and I will get back to you after I receive your form and let you know that you are on the varsity roster. Just because you're on the roster don't mean that you'll get an abundance of games. So don't say, oh, I'm doing varsity, so I'm not doing JV no more. Don't do that to yourself. Because when you first come to varsity, you're still gonna get more JV games than you're gonna get varsity games.
Mike, do you have something else for Leroy?
No, we're good. I thank you very much for making the time to talk and giving that update to guys who did JVs a year and a half ago, because I know they're looking and they're concerned. So with that being said, I'm good. Bernard, or you or Vic have anything else? I think we could close this out.
Leroy, thank you so much for taking the time to jump in with us. Mike.
Gentlemen,
Vic. Yes.
this is Juan Almonte. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I did post a question twice, and I guess you didn't. Maybe you didn't see it. I just had one question, real quick.
Well, please do ask it. I may have missed it. I apologize.
Yeah, given the times we're in the COVID and the whole nine, when we arrive, once everything falls through and we do what we do, when we arrive at the school, will they require us to have the vaccine card with us?
I think Danny is still on. Danny, can you answer that question?
I think Danny went off, but I'm gonna try to tackle that. There will be, Danny said a site.
I'm still here. I'm still listening,
Okay,
but I
go ahead,
wasn't on
Danny.
camera.
Got it.
What was the question again?
The question is, do you have to have your vaccination card with you when you show up to one of the sites? If I'm incorrect, Juan, please correct me.
That's correct, Bernard. Thank you.
Again, we haven't come out with the specific protocol for how it's going to be verified, the vaccination card. I would recommend that it's a good thing to carry with you, but we haven't mandated anything yet on about the verification process. So once we get that information, I can update you, but I would recommend that that's probably a good procedure to carry around. Because, you know, to get into buildings, I don't know how the school buildings are gonna, it's one thing to get assigned a game, but then it's one thing that, you know, running into a different security agent who may not let you into a building. So there's all kinds of different layers to it. So I would recommend carrying it around.
Danny.
Yes, Leroy.
You know, that little card is too delicate to be carrying everywhere. And every place that I have been so far, I take a picture of it and I keep it on my phone, and that's been acceptable to get into wherever to prove that you've been vaccinated. But that card, if you lose it or mutilate it with that, you're not getting another one.
Hey, that's a good point. I know people are carrying around pictures. I know people have laminated it, put it into different things. So when we say carry it, just to have evidence that you have it. So if a picture is sufficient, we don't know exactly what the monitoring is going to be in the school buildings and the office buildings. So when we get that information, we can update.
Danny,
I'm sorry. I'm going to put it on the website, the access to going in and logging it, and you can log on and actually have that sent to your phone. So we'll get that onto the website.
Thank you, Lee.
Yeah.
Bernard, you can also go into New York Celsius, the website that they have for anybody who's vaccinated in New York, and you can get the New York Celsius
If
on
you
your
don't mind,
phone.
if you don't mind, Alex, would you just, if you don't mind, Alex, just send me an email with that information. I'll make sure it's up on the website.
All right, I put it in the chat.
I want us as a board to get used to going to the website because our job is to make sure that we reach everyone with all the information that we have, and that's just another tool for us to have information as a board.
Bernard,
Yes,
and let everybody know, this is information. New York State website, there's 2 of them, is only good in New York State. Other places are not accepting the New York State website.
Yeah, no, the principals got word because, and this is just another example of just how the legislative branch and the mayor's office and others like didn't really know all of the ways, the ramifications. But
Because it's down to school safety and school aids and that, everybody just thinks teachers.
exactly, no, but and you know, so
I think he's talking on the phone.
right, the school safety officers are actually employed by NYPD, and NYPD doesn't have a mandate.
You need to mute. Bernard, go ahead, mute him and move on.
okay, Ron Bellamy, did you have a question? Okay,
All right, B, I
We're
think we could do, update the website with all the apps that people can go through. And like Leroy said, that is New York State. That's our concern right now because we're here in New York. Let's put that stuff up on the website and then we'll go from there. As soon as Danny gets more information, we'll just keep updating the website.
that'd be perfect.
It wasn't a question, Bernard. It was just about the Excelsior website where you can put it up on your phone.
I'm going to post it so that we have it up on the website. And
Right.
thank you all for bringing that to the table. And that's what we're talking about as a board. If there's information out there, the more that we share, the more the information that everybody will know, and we'll all be on the same page. And that's the goal. Right, Roger Murray?
I got a question.
Yes,
Bill Peterson.
yes.
This is to Leroy because it is very good he brought that up because I'm one who carries around this card. Would it be also accepted if you took a Xerox photo of it and cut it out and put it and laminated it and keep the card home? Because he's right about losing it.
One of the things about laminating, what you shouldn't do, if you laminate the card and now you get a booster shot, how are they going to put the date of the laminate of the booster shot?
Okay, I didn't get that booster shot yet because it's not.
Nobody has. I'm just saying, if you laminate the card and get a booster shot.
No, you're right. I wouldn't do that until I get the booster shot.
And if next year with another booster, then what are you going to do?
I'll do the same thing.
Okay.
I'm just asking, would that be be acceptable?
Everywhere I've been, and all I did was take a picture of my card and I have it on my phone and I have it in a handy place that I can go to it. They ask me for it. I bring it up, show it to them. They say, thank you. They don't even really read it. I have never had anybody, as long as they see it and acceptable. You know, I was in Puerto Rico on vacation and they saw the card. They have you fill out a form. And the reason people ask me to fill out this form is for contract tracing.
Right.
That's why you're filling out these different forms. But once they're satisfied, because when I came back for 10 days, I got a text message from San Juan every day, every morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, asking me, did I have any symptoms?
Right.
And all you do is put on it and say no. And then, you know, it was fine. I got it for 10 days. After 10 days, they stopped sending it to you.
Okay, speaking of that, y'all, I just want to let y'all know, my sister passed a couple of days ago on the virus. The virus took her out. So they making arrangements, our family making arrangements for the funeral to be down south. That's where she's gonna be buried. And y'all be safe, man, because this thing is taking everybody out. And people, she talked to me on the phone and she told me about the certain illness she had, but she didn't tell me about the symptoms that she was going through with it. And I found out those symptoms was the virus. And when I tried to get back to her, my niece called me and told me what happened, that she was in the hospital for a while. And then she just passed away. So just be safe.
Well, Bill, we send our condolences to you. Please pass us that information. Victor will get out a notice so the whole board will be aware of it. So our condolences to you and your family.
Okay, thank you. Oh, one more thing. Victor, with the dues, would you send your name over the post office box, or you send something else?
It's board 42
It's
and
board
the PO.
Board 42?
Come on, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Just board 42 and then PO box?
Yes.
Okay.
If you go to the website, it'll be up on the website. You can see the whole thing.
Okay, good enough.
Awesome. Roger, you had something?
Yes, I just want to say, if you got those New York City or the New York State app, and we're basically going within the city, you know, the schools, I mean, like Leroy said, either the card or a photo, I'm pretty sure it'll work. When I go to Barclays Center, I did the Liberty games this year. I was pulling out my phone to show it. And the guy saw the blue lights. He said, go ahead, man. I see it. I know it's in New York State. But I'm just saying, if you got the card or those, it should work within the city limits, definitely. The city or the state app. 'Cause I got it on all three.
The only place that it might not work when you're going to a school, if you're not on the internet. So you got to be careful, because you're going into school. If you're not on the internet, you know, iPhones might pick it up, Android might not. So you got to be careful when you go into school. But just wait until, you know, the PSAL put out the mandate, because you know the teachers are in court right now with and like, if I don't know if you could hear Danny or whatever, we talked about it. The school safety people don't work for the Board of Education. They work for the New York City Police Department. And it's not mandated by the New York City Police Department. So what do you do? You know.
Well, with that being said, I thank you all for joining. Mike, would you like to close us out? Mike, you're on mute.
Okay, just as Bill said, and I said earlier, be safe, take care of your health and well-being. If you get rapid testing every now and then, it won't hurt you, but you'll be updated. And thanks again for coming in.
Thanks, everyone.